before you go out to shop for a house. So in this current market, no seller is going to, and very rarely will there be a seller who is going to entertain an offer from someone who isn't already pre-approved. So what does pre-approval mean? Pre-approval means you come into a broker like myself and say, I want to buy this house worth this much, and here's my income, and here's my credit, and take a look at everything. And then somebody like myself will tell you, okay, yes, I've reviewed all your financials, and here's what you qualify for. And we'll give you a nice little letter that says XYZ is approved for this mortgage, or pre-approved, I should say. And that's when you go out and take that letter and put it with your offer. And 9 times out of 10, the sellers or the seller's agent and the realtor will call a person like me and say, hey, give me the scoop on this guy. And we'll tell them what we can and say, yes, I've reviewed the financials and this person is pre-approved. So that's very important, very important. Sellers will not entertain offers without a buyer being pre-approved. They absolutely will not. That's just the way it is. And more so now than it was before. Pre-approval allows you to determine the upper limits of your price range. So a lot of people come to me and say, I want to buy this $1 million house. Here are my financials, and I should be approved. And they walk away knowing that they're only approved for $500K. Happens a lot. Because what you think you make and what you think your income looks like is not necessarily always the fact or the case when we look at it, because we spread the income and look at it in a more conservative manner, in conservative fashion. So bring it to us. Let us take a look at it and we'll tell you if the person you're dealing with knows what they're talking about. And again, borrow only what you feel comfortable with. Sometimes, bankers and lenders like myself will say, oh yeah, sure, you can do this, you can carry this. And again, if you don't feel comfortable about it, think twice. There's no problem in doing that. Hark back to the ratios that I mentioned, 45%, you want to be within that. If you're going slightly above that, then you're kind of stretching yourself a little. Another thing to consider, and I'll mention one other thing before I hit this slide, is even if you're within that 45% debt to income ratio, let's say, if your expenses are going to go up, let's say you're pregnant or your family is expanding or having a kid, take that into consideration and know that if you know that the expenses are going to go up, maybe you should back that ratio down a little bit more to keep yourself comfortable and give yourself a little wiggle room. So 45% isn't a hard and fast number for everyone. Maybe for some people it's 40 or 35. And again, we can review that with you on an individual basis. Work with a professional home buyer team. Again, as I was mentioning all along, it's all about who you work with. If you guys have family or friends who work with realtors or work with finance people, get with them and ask all the questions. Financing, again, that's the key, is get it right the first time. Get with your real estate agent, make a strong, aggressive offer. Be pre-approved, that's the key. Finalize the financing, get all the terms that you need to know in front of you. Home inspections, appraisals, and insurance, this is all part of the process. And again, I can walk you through it and tell you what happens at what point. Ensure you meet the conditions of your loan approval at the end. We'll ask for updated documents and just make sure that you meet and give us everything you need. Final walkthrough inspection right before you close escrow. There's one walkthrough if you verify everything on your property and you close escrow. And again, that's it. Close on your new home. Building long-term strategies. Again, it's get the financing right, get it right the first time. Home ownership is a long-term investment, and that's the key here. Again, it's a sure and steady way to build wealth over time, and that's the key. You're not going to make short-term money. Real estate is a long-term investment. Do not forget that. That's all I have. Good thing, because Dave was getting mad at me for going over my time.